Welcome back into Wildcat Weekly with Deuce Vaughn on EMAW Online. I'm Mason Voth as we get set for another edition of the show. Coming off the bye week for Deuce and the Cats after their 10-9 win against Iowa State the week prior, sitting at 3-0 in the Big 12, tied with TCU, who they play this weekend for first place in the conference. What's it mean 3 games into the season? I know there's still 6 of them left in the Big 12, but 3 games in, you guys are at the top and have looked as good as anybody in the league.
Yes, sir. 100%. This is kind of where we wanted to be at going into the bye week. We knew that we'd have a time to get our bodies back right, get our minds recharged for these next 6 games, almost like the gauntlet in a sense. Is we're going into trying to accomplish what we wanted to accomplish at the beginning of the year. So to go 3-0 in conference before this bye week and now get our bodies back, get recharged and ready to go for this upcoming game is big time, and exactly where we want to be. And we kind of understand that as long as we keep preparing the way we do, keep playing the way that we do, keep playing hard, keep doing all things throughout the week, that we'll have a successful chance to go and do things that we want to do on Saturday.
Do you like having the bye week right in the middle of the season to evenly split it, 6 games and then a break and then 6 more games to finish things out?
Yes, sir. I feel like if you get it too early, it's one of those things where your bodies and your minds aren't to the point where it's like, man, I need a little break. I need to just get away from the game. Because if you have it week 3, if you play 2 or 3 games and you kind of feel like, man, we're just getting started. You get to week 6 and you're like, all right, this is like the halfway point. Recharge your mind. You understand you have to go do that again. Exactly what you just finished.
Yeah, when the bye week came around, I went and looked kind of historically how it had played out, and I went to the 2012 season. They had one early in the year. I think it was maybe the week before they started Big 12 play against Oklahoma, but then they had another one, and it wasn't until the next to last week of the season. So they played all those games. They
Yeah.
went to Baylor. They lost as the number 1 team in the country, had their bye week, and then came back and played Texas to secure the Big 12 title. So that was one of those deals where that was a team that was banged up going into the game against Baylor and probably could have used an earlier bye week. And it seemed like for you guys then it's worked out even better because Khalid Duke gets nicked up early on in that game. You towards the end of the second half ended up dealing with some things. So where would you grade the way you feel right now? Because I know not everybody's 100% during the regular season once it gets going, but how close to that number do you feel like you are?
I feel really good, especially coming off the bye. You get a week to rest your legs, rest your mind, rest the nicks and bruises that you're going to pick up throughout the season. So I feel really good. If I had to give it a number, 85%, 90%, and we still got 60 something hours until the game starts. So that's a lot of time to get some more recovery, get some more treatment, do some things to get your body right. And then, of course, the adrenaline and everything that comes on a game day is going to kind of give you a little bit more percent as well. So feeling really good, feeling good about the team as well. Guys are back practicing. Guys are back getting ready for the game. And man, it just feels good to be back out on the field first and foremost, and to be getting prepared for another big time matchup.
You guys played that low scoring game against Iowa State 10-9, which is not something people normally associate with the Big 12. So if it were up to you, do you prefer to play in like old school Big 12, like 63-56 scores, or 10-9 scores like the game against Iowa State?
Oh man, I'm an offensive guy. So of course the 60 point shootouts are going to be the fun ones for myself. But the 10-9 ones, those are the gritty wins that really tell you about your football team when things may not be going your way all the time on offense, but you're just able to pull one out like that. It says a whole bunch about your team. And the shootouts, I'd probably pick the shootout just because of being an offensive guy. It probably means we got a whole bunch of yards and a whole bunch of high flying plays going on.
You've put up good numbers in your career against TCU, 2-0, playing the Horned Frogs in the 2 matchups you've had with them. But this seems like a different type of team. What are some of the things that stick out to you that is different about TCU this season versus the last 2 years that you've played them?
Of course. first and foremost, schematically, they brought a defense coordinator from Tulsa. So it's a new defense coordinator over there. He brought in the 3-3-5 defense that we've starting to see a whole bunch in the Big 12 because of just how explosive offenses are. And that 3-3-5 is there to pretty much try and prevent those explosive plays, make you pick up the 4, the 5, the 3, and put together a big time drive, and then really keep you on the field and try to kind of wear you down in a sense, and then get off the field with that 3-3-5. And their players are playing really well with it. Really big physical D-line, pluggers in the run game. They do a really good job of that. And then, of course, they actually bring back 2 linebackers and brought in a transfer from Navy. So experienced players, D. Winters, Jamari Hodge, and Johnny. Believe Johnny Hodges have played a whole bunch of football, so they've seen a lot of things. And of course, in the secondary, brought in some transfers that can fly around, they can run, man. That's one of the things you see on film with it, whether it's coming down to a run fit or getting over the top, running the sideline. They play really well together. And I brought some guys back, brought in some transfers as well. And they're pretty experienced on that side of the ball too, at the cornerback position. So the experience that they have just playing together down in Fort Worth, and just the way they play together, and then with the new scheme that they have, they play really well in it, and it fits them. So we're gonna have a tough task this weekend, but we're excited for it.
Thinking about the matchup itself, 2 top 20 teams, road game down there. You're both 3-0, unbeaten in conference play. I know that this is more so what people outside focus on because you guys are so focused on every game is the important one. But where does this stack up, heading into it, of the way it feels and just the build up towards it, with kind of importance with the other games you've played in your career at K-State?
Oh man, this is number one because it's the next one. It's the next opportunity against a really good football team, and what's going to be an electric atmosphere down in Fort Worth at night on Fox. One of those games that you're like, okay, this is the game that, I mean, when you're a little kid, you want to play in top 25 game. Understanding that the implications that come with this game are big time too. So you got to step it up a notch. You can't play outside of yourself, but you got to go out there and play your game. And we understand that, and man, we're so excited for this opportunity and to be able to do it. I mean, on TV, on national television, and get to show everybody exactly what K-State stands about.
You go back to Texas, playing in your home state now, and Kobe Savage said earlier this week that his dad said that they were going to have like 2 sections full of their people there to watch Kobe Savage. How big will the Deuce Vaughn section be in Fort Worth?
About the same. I think I rounded up about 30 tickets, 35 tickets at this point. And it was crazy. I asked my mom, I was like, all right, I got 30. She was like, well, then we'll probably have to buy some. I'm like, what? So it's gonna be a big time game. The last time my mom's family really got to see me play was actually in Fort Worth, 2020. So come back full circle for them to see me again.
You don't have to throw your mom under the bus or anything here, but was there anybody that like she gave you a list of names and you were like, I don't even know who this person is, or like I haven't talked to him since I was like 5 years old. What are they doing here? Why can't we invite this person? Because in my experience, when I got married, there was a list of names that my mom had of people. She's like, well, you need to invite this person. I'm like, I've got no affiliation with that person. So was there anything like that for you where you're like, I mean, I guess we can bring him, but what are they doing there?
None for me. It's gonna be all family.
Okay.
So no names I was looking at like who that? No, it's grandma's gonna be there, cousins, uncles, aunts. So it's gonna be a good time.
Outside of your mom and dad, who's like the most energetic family member when it comes to watching you play, where either you've heard them in the stands before or you've heard stories afterwards?
100%. I mean, that's one thing about my mom's family is whenever it's time to come to a game, they go in a group. So you'll hear them in a group. And it's funny, if one's loud, another one will try to be louder. And then before you know, it's almost like a competition over there. But man, when it comes to t-shirts and man, before NIL was a thing, they were making T-shirts of my face and putting it on it, and the 22 Vaughn on the back. So the love is always reciprocated on her side of the family, and my dad's side as well. He'll have some people at the game too. But I'm gonna say my mom's family as a collective, you will hear them. If you're at the game in Fort Worth this weekend, you will hear them and you will know exactly where they're sitting.
All right. Well, I'll be sure to keep my ears open. And it's starting to sound like then there may be a pretty good contingent of K-State people down there with all the family members that'll be there for. I think I counted up 14 or 16 was the number of Texas guys on the roster currently for you. So you'll have probably a pretty good crowd, and then all the fans and alumni that are in that area too.
Yes, sir.
Thinking of a couple of other things, shifting towards maybe more of the looser type questions here. Going back to Texas, what are some of the Texas staples or stereotypes that you enjoy or you think fit maybe to your persona? So, like everybody thinks of Whataburger when they go to Texas, or whatever else it may be. What are some of the Texas stereotypes that you like and that you play into?
Buc-ee's.
Okay.
Buc-ee's, 100%. Everything's bigger in Texas. Anytime it's funny. I forget where we were going. It may have been Lubbock or Fort Worth in 2020. We were driving by, and there was a Buc-ee's, and I'm like, man, what is that? Well, that's a gas station, guys. Yeah, that's a gas. And it's, of course, you got like the 100 stalls that you can get filled up in gas, and you got it's almost like a Walmart in a sense, but man, a Buc-ee's, man. Anytime you go into Buc-ee's, you gotta get a souvenir. You gotta get you have to get any type of meat that, I mean, they'll have like a specialty meat going on. You have to get some. Have to. We didn't stop by, so I was a little hurt, but I may have to have my parents stop by and grab me something to bring it over to the hotel.
That sounds like a good idea. I have never stopped there. I mean, I've made plenty of trips down there the last couple of years, but I don't know if I'm intimidated by it or also like I just get to the point where I'm like, okay, I either want to get further down the road because I'm heading back home, or I just want to get to the destination. But I'm gonna have plenty of time rolling down there Friday, so I may have to finally make a stop.
Yes, sir. I promise you, you won't be disappointed.
Okay. Yeah, I can believe that. I mean, everybody that goes says it's a great thing. I told you before we got started that it was a Big 12 basketball media day today. And one of the things that stood out with the way those guys talk, they said the things that they like to do spending time with their teammates was watch movies and eat great food. Typically food that was cooked up by one of their assistant coaches' wives. They said that she was a great cook. So what's kind of the go-to for you and your teammates when you get some downtime and time to relax? What are the things that you guys like to do together?
No doubt. So for us, man, it's always just going to be whether it's getting together, playing some video games, getting together after a long day, and we'll all get together and go, hey, man, somebody want to do this? Go out to the swim pool in the summer, things like that. And, of course, when you get into the fall, man, you see each other all day at the facility. So really just the little things. And then food, if I had to jump into food with assistance, man, Coach Ward has his own restaurant down in Tallahassee, Florida. Coach True, Coach Malone, when it comes to seafood boils, oh man, I'm salivating just thinking about it. Those guys, I mean, they can throw down when it comes to food, especially Coach True. Coach True loves to cook food. Anytime we come over there, he'll tell us all of his ingredients and what he does to make some things. So I'm picking up some tips every single time I talk to him.
It feels like you guys have a lot of coaches that are pretty proud of their cooking ability. Would you say that then True is the guy that like stands out the most to you, and he's maybe the top chef on the team?
Him and Coach Malone are real close, and Coach Ward's up there too. They all make different things really well. They all have different types of flavors to their stuff. So like if you want something a little bit hotter, Coach Malone's the way to go. Things like that, you know. But man, as far as taste goes, Coach True's food is something else. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Along the themes of basketball, what is the scouting report for Deuce Vaughn on the basketball floor? What's your game look like? And I don't did you play in high school or what was that like?
I did play in high school. I ended up giving it up to go and be football 100%. But I did play, man. I was a point guard. I'm more of like your Chris Paul. I'm a facilitator, and I'll get to the basket type guy. Not too big of a shooter. If you leave me open, I'll pop it. But I'm gonna try and get to the basket. Use my body in the air. One of those things. But I'm a facilitator, and I'll play some great defense as well.
Last question for you before we go. Your former quarterback, Skyler Thompson, got to make his first start in the NFL on Sunday. Unfortunately, his offensive line, they committed penalties that killed big plays he made, and then they kind of got him hurt later in the game and knocked him out. So he's probably missing a guy like Cooper Beebe. So the Dolphins might want to watch out for that next year. Did you get to see any of Skyler's play over the weekend, or have you talked to him at all over the last couple of weeks?
Yes, so I did. So I texted him the morning of before that game. He got back to me. So I texted him before that game. I got to watch it. Man, unfortunate. Just the way that it kind of went down. Just because he's out there making plays, doing his thing. It was really exciting to see. Even with those some of those unfortunate things, it was exciting to see him out there. It was exciting to see the stories that they did on him. The things his story is getting heard. I saw multiple articles before the game of just the way that he got to this point, his journey, everything that he's been through, and like the person that we love here at Kansas State is getting seen on a national level, and to see him out there in an NFL jersey, knowing that it's his dream, getting his first start, it was surreal. It was surreal, man.
I saw Pro Football Focus rated him as the best rookie performance of the week. Said that he graded out the best. So at least in the little time that he got to be out there, he made a big impact. Does that at all make you think about what the future could hold for you and some of your teammates when you eventually get to that level and what that will be like?
Of course, just from the mere fact that talking to some guys that are some really good football players on this team, that's been our dream since we were little kids. So to be in this position and have these 6 games left to go out there and be the best football players that we can be, and then let the future be what it is. But just kind of seeing him and everything he's doing now, and seeing a guy like Rush Yeast get on the field, make a play on special teams, make 2 plays on special teams, seeing a guy like Tim Horn get on the field, and just guys that were in our locker room last year, and we saw the work they put in. And how they did everything, how they went about their business, and now what they're doing at the next level, it's really encouraging. And we love it. We love to see them doing their thing. We understand that with a little work and just keeping our heads down and doing everything we can to become better football players, that one day it may be us.
All right, well, Deuce, we appreciate it. Let you go and get on with the rest of your night, and best of luck on Saturday night in Fort Worth.
But I appreciate you having me tonight.